Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flick Show. My name is Chris Wong. Today, my wife and I got to watch Venom, starring Tom Hardy, Michelle Williams, and I gotta say, it was good. We had a good time. It was entertaining. It was fun, trademark, and it was just a lot of great action set pieces. There was a lot of funny moments. There was some horror moments, but overall, it was an entertaining film, and it was nicely put together. Of course, I'm not a huge Marvel fan, as you know, so I don't know too much. I know Venom from like Spider-Man 3, from Spider-Man the animated cartoon where they had Venom for a little bit, and so I know that they're not going to have Spider-Man in this. This is like Sony's thing. They're doing a anti-hero Venom with Eddie Brock, and it doesn't start with the black suit Spider-Man, things like that. So I'm all pretty much aware of that, and so I put that aside. And so when my wife and when I went to watch this, we kind of just put all those thoughts aside, even though we've heard that in the pipeline, it's like, oh, it's not good, or some say it was good, but um, I liked it. I think it's a good popcorn flick. It's an enjoyable ride, which was I thought was what was intended, and it had those henshin, transform moments, kind of like the Guyver and Kamen Rider. So I may be biased in that respect, but I had a good time, and I think that's the most important thing, is that my wife and I had a great time. Uh, it's I don't know about the lore too much. I mean, to us, it kind of was interesting how it differs from what we've kind of thought, where the symbiote was not exactly a named entity. Like in this movie, each symbiote was like a named entity. We always thought that when it merged together with somebody, that's when it got the name. But apparently not. Apparently each organism, that's their name. So that is interesting. And I don't know if that it is true to the Marvel comics or not. I'm going to have to ask my friend who is more a Spider-Man fan than I am. But I always thought it was when they were together, a human host, they create that name. So I'm really eager to see the sequel and how they arrange with the a new possible villain that will be coming up in the sequel. So I'm really interested in how that works. But the strength of this film is, Eddie Brock and Venom when they're together or they're talking to each other, their interaction and how they kind of grow with each other. I think that works incredibly well in this film. You almost feel that connection together, and it's fun, and they do some comedic moments and stuff. And when it's finally time to be the hero, because we know this is a villain film. We think it's a villain film, but we know, judging from the thing, that there's other symbiotes in there, and they eventually fight. So there's got to be a reason why Eddie Brock's gonna be the hero in this run. So a different kind of hero. And so I like what Venom says in about why he will be the hero in this. And I think that works well in a selfish manner, in an anti-hero type of manner. So I quite enjoyed that. Michelle Williams is also in here. I was okay with her towards the acting at the beginning. I didn't feel her connection with Tom Hardy's character Eddie Brock in any way. So Eddie and Anne it didn't feel like they were that close, and it kind of just they dropped that real quickly as they wanted to speed along the plot, and thankfully because we really want to get to the Venom parts. And when you get to the Venom parts, that's when this movie really shined. Eddie becomes all weird and twitchy and trying to not sure about himself. I think they cut out some scenes where he's more fighting with Venom. The different personalities are fighting each other, and those are kind of fun. And I want to see more of that. So I can't wait to see a sequel. And hopefully there is a sequel. I mean, it looks like this movie's gonna make some box office money, so that's good. The villain is interesting. Okay, so right off the bat, you know who the bad guy is, but right off the bat, it's almost like a way of saying something about Elon Musk, right? Because this is almost the same idea where he's a young guy, he's inventive, he wants to go to space, a space program, stuff like that. It's almost like a message about to beware of inventors like Elon Musk, in which we should be praising this type of person who's going to be our next Thomas Edison and all this type of stuff. It's Nikola Tesla, but beware of these guys because they may turn really freaking evil, and just like a Lex Luthor type of character in this sense of the word, he was just like that, in a way like how humans are too weak and we need to advance or evolve ourselves. And so it makes a lot of sense that he go nuts over this, and how he feels the unemotional connection to other humans, and that's why he is the way he is, and that would make sense. And we also have this little thing about, it kind of reminds me of John Constantine, the Constantine movie, with Keanu Reeves, where you have that character at the beginning traveling from another country to get to the main country, and that is like something's coming, something's coming. So every so often we see that something starts coming, and becomes part of the main antagonist of this film. And I like that. I'm kind of a sucker for those type of things where there's an end game, and an end game is slowly coming towards the end. So I quite enjoy that, and I quite enjoyed how the pacing went. I thought it was good. I thought it paced really well. It didn't feel too rushed, but it rushed at the beginning where I needed it to, because I wanted to get moving forward to seeing Eddie as a down loser, and that draws real good comparisons toward the end when you realize something about Venom that I've never thought before. But that's the other thing about that, because Venom, the symbiotes, I personally don't know much about. Like Spider-Man 3, like I said, Spider-Man animated series, they didn't show too much of the backstory of the symbiotes, but in this one they don't show it, but they talk about it, and it's interesting the way they talk about it. It almost feels very Transformers from Cybertron. They had something over here, their origin. They know each other, and then they're here and they talk about that. Kind of like that, where if we saw Transformers, we never saw the war in Cybertron, and it's like Optimus talking to Megatron, Megatron, that's a bad guy, or what. So it has some elements of that. I don't want to spoil it too much, but that's why I'm trying to talk around plot points here, but I thought that was interesting. It gave a little bit more character to the symbiotes, which I never thought it would have been. That's why, which surprised my wife and I, because we always, like I said, thought they were just parasites with no actual personalities or feelings until they become part of the human. So I'm curious what that planet looks like. What does their planet looks like? Do they look like what they look like without hosts? Then that's what they need, hosts to look like that, something like that. So I'm always, I'm kind of interested in that, and that's something I never thought of, that there is such a thing called lore in this without Spider-Man. And you know what? I didn't miss Spider-Man. I didn't miss Spider-Man one bit. Yeah, I didn't miss him one bit. This felt like organically its own film. It felt like a superhero origin film. It felt like it really did feel like Guyver. I mean, I was half expecting when he's changed back, he goes Venom or something, but you know, he did the other thing. He says mask on, and you know, and then and Venom just turned it. He just turned into Venom. So I dig that as well. But overall, enjoyable movie. I don't get the hate about the CGI. I thought it was good. I thought it was good, and the ending fight, yeah, way better than Black Panther's ending fight. I don't know, way better than Black Panther's ending fight. They're all sinewy. There's some really cool diorama type of, you know, moments where he's pulling in each other, and then the camera slowly. I think you see that in the trailer. So you see some of that. It was really cool, and I want to see more. I can't wait to see this next one, especially after that mid-credit scene. I'm like, yes, bring it on. Bring it on, man. I want to see Venom, the second Venom movie, and him go against the revealed character that was in that one. So anyway, we enjoyed it. That's it for tonight. I hope you go and watch it. I think this deserves a look, and give your opinion on it rather than reading other reviews and making having them judge what you want to see. If you want to go see it, or if you want to judge it for yourself, go right on ahead. You may just be surprised like I was. Alright guys, well, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.